So my presentation is on sexualization of women in the media. Um, so basically, sexualization in the media is the act of placing value on a person's appearance and sexual appeal above all of their other characteristics. So it's mainly focusing on more specifically, women's sex appeal rather than any other character traits about them. Basically, some statistics are that 28.8% of women wore sexually revealing clothes in about 500 films, so it was like a sample taken, as opposed to 7% of men. So it's predominantly sexualizing women. 26.2% of women actors get partially naked in that sample size of 500 films, as opposed to 9.4% of men. So sexualization of women in the media looks like revealing clothes, focusing on women's body parts, etc. Women are clearly much more likely to be sexualized on social media than men are. A study showed and concluded that on average, 83% of women featured in the magazines were sexualized, in contrast to only 17% of men. Very big difference. There's also evidence to support the theory that sexual objectification of women has a very big negative impact on women's mental health. It also is really negatively impacting the audiences, the people who are seeing all these women being sexualized, because it can be a very offensive or b negatively impact their self-worth and self-esteem. Some more statistics are that 51.8% of advertisements that feature women portray them as sexual objects. This obviously further proves that women are way more objectified than men, and they're objectified mainly for the male gaze. So then this brings me to my question, is it ethical? So to define ethical, an ethical decision making is based on core character values like trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and good citizenship. The newspapers, magazines, and social media usually carries provocative photos and advertisements that expose women's bodies and depict females very sexually. So this certainly defeats media ethics. It's not ethical to the women. It's not ethical to the audience. So is there privacy for women, especially women in the media? So according to Plato, privacy does not exist to these women. Plato recognizes that each individual's right to privacy and is committed to the protection and confidentiality of your personal information, which would obviously include your body and just your privacy in general. In regards to Kant and privacy of these women, so Kant about privacy says that he believes that humans are autonomous beings with dignity. When you're sexualizing someone in the media, you're not really leaving them with much dignity, and especially when you look at the core statistics of the difference between the men being sexualized and the women being sexualized. Kant also says that all moral agents should value privacy and individuality for themselves and others. So yeah, as you can see, that women are very sexualized in the media, and it is concluded to not be very ethical.